You're listening to the Business Wealth Impact Podcast, your source for empowering information and cutting-edge ideas from the world's top minds. I'm your host, Jeanne Amlour, founder of seven-figure coaching company, Jeanne Amlour International. Join me on a journey to unleash your potential and create your highest success. Welcome to Business Wealth Impact. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Business Wealth Impact. We have an amazing guest today. Money and happiness expert Ken Honda is a best-selling self-development author in Japan with book sales surpassing 8 million copies. Known as the Happy Money Guy, Money Healer, and Zen Millionaire, Ken bridges the topics of money and happiness in his teachings, inviting readers to heal their relationship with money, experience more abundance and happiness, and express their gifts in alignment with their destiny and life purpose. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you so much, and I hope I can pronounce your name close to the exact name. It's John or John?
Jean.
John.
Yes.
That's I'm trying my best.
It's good. We're good. So, Ken, I'm thrilled to have you here because I love everything that you're welcome. I love everything that you've written about because it's so aligned with what I believe. Tell us a little bit more about what you teach in your books.
So in Japanese, I have written so many books. I lost count, but probably around 150 and 200. But in English, I have published only 2 books. And in all essence, I have taught people about how to have peace with money, do what you love, and how to bring happy money into your life. Happy money means that when you receive it, you feel grateful for it. And when you spend money, you also find it joy. So unfortunately, many of us are living in the flow of unhappy money. We get frustrated when we get money, and we feel squeezed and worry when we pay bills. So my mission is to help people transform their relationship with money. And that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years.
Okay, I completely love that because I figured a little bit of this out myself, that I would bless every dollar that came into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I also figured out that paying bills with joy changed the whole energy of sending that money out to people willingly and lovingly. So I was a bit on the same line as you, but you've gone way further actually. So tell us a little bit about what's in your new book and what is the name of your new book?
Yeah.
You want to show us the cover for people?
I actually have it right here. It's called True Wealth, and it's a novel. It's about 9 letters that the wealthy grandfather leaves to his grandson. And it's a fiction. And I put all the learnings from my mentors into this book. So one day, this 20-year-old college student, Kay, receives a package from his grandfather. And in that, there are 9 letters. Each one has a title. The first letter is synchronicity. The second one is intuition. The third, decision, action. And in that letter, grandfather says, I'm sorry, I donated all the money to charity, so you're not going to get any money from me. But instead, I left you 9 letters. So when you feel the call, open the letter and then enjoy life, is what he said. So this boy opens one letter, says synchronicity, and these synchronistic events just keep happening to his life. So he gets guided by synchronicity and interesting coincidences. He goes to Kyoto, Hokkaido, Bangkok to visit his grandfather's best friends, and then learns about money and work and failures and all the stories that he experienced through the letters that his grandfather left. So it's a story format, but people can learn what are the most important lessons. There are 9 lessons that I put in the book.
Wow. Okay. I'm definitely going to get the book, and I hope everybody listening does as well. So what about all of these books that you wrote in Japanese? Were they all about the same theme?
Basically the same, but I talk about how to achieve financial independence, how to have money work for you, and find something that can be monetized, and in order to find what you're good at. This is how. And also recently, I've been teaching people about invisible assets and visible assets. Visible assets means money, real estate, cars, and all that. possessions that you can
Mhm.
have.
Mhm.
Invisible asset means trust, friendship, experiences, knowledge, and there are two kinds of invisible assets. One
Mhm.
that can turn into money, like
Mhm.
experiences and knowledge
Mhm.
on the list. That's invisible
Mhm.
assets. You know, the
Mm.
government cannot tax you for that, for having a
Right.
million, email lists
Mhm.
that you cannot be taxed, right?
Right.
Yeah, and there is also something that cannot be exchanged for money, like trust, love, friendship,
Mhm.
kindness,
Mhm.
generosity. That is
Mm.
invisible asset you absolutely need, but you cannot buy or sell for.
Mm. Right. Okay, that's fascinating. So, now the other book that you wrote in English, what was that about?
So the first one is happy money.
Mm.
There are two kinds of money in the world: the happy money that makes you smile, unhappy
Mhm.
money that makes you feel worried and frustrated. So
Mhm.
I'm teaching people how to transform your relationship with more peace, because
Mm.
money touches every area of your life. It touches relationships, it touches work, it touches your bonding with kids and
Mhm.
friendship, and everything costs money, right? I said invisible assets cannot be bought, but it
Mhm.
costs money. You know, in order to have a good relationship with your clients and customers, you
Mhm.
need to pay something. And also, in order
Mhm.
to have a healthy, functioning family, you need to have some money.
Mhm.
There is a saying, money cannot buy happiness, but it's not really true. You know, money can get rid
Mhm.
of all the inconveniences in life if you don't have
Mhm.
money. So
Yes.
you have to learn about money. And there are money IQ and money EQ. In the book Happy Money, I teach people about money EQ. There are many
Mhm.
money IQ teachers like Robert Kiyosaki and Sue Ullman.
Mhm.
They're all focused
Mhm.
on money IQ. And I teach
Mhm.
money EQ, which focuses on the peace of mind and how to find peace with money.
Mm. Fascinating stuff. Really great. Okay, now I don't know much about Japanese culture beyond what most people know. Is what you've been writing about common in Japan, or were you like the unicorn that came out and started talking about this stuff?
It was sort of a common sense in Japan because we believe in 8 million gods. That means that
Mm.
in everything we see, there is God.
Mhm.
Like in this
Mm.
iPhone, there is God. In this
Mm.
water, uh, we see God. So
Mhm.
everything is divine. And then also,
Mm.
Zen practice gives Japanese people the sense of balance.
Mm.
Like when I talk about money container, there's a money container in each of us, and we are born with a certain money container. And when I talk about
Mhm.
that, American people and European people ask me, Ken, how can I get my container bigger? But in Japan, about the same question. They ask me a
Mm.
different approach. They ask me,
Mm.
how can I be satisfied with a present container that I have? So the approach is
Mm.
different. So my approach is
Yes.
very Zen. So my
Mhm.
all my mentors didn't teach me. They asked me
Mhm.
questions. So my teaching style is
Mm.
very unique too. Instead of teaching, I ask people questions
Mm.
because you know all the answers, not me.
Well, that's a specific type of coaching. You know that certain types of coaching, non-directive coaching, is you're asking the questions, and also therapy.
Yes,
They ask a question, and
yes,
yeah,
yes. So my
yes.
teaching style is more therapeutic. And
Mhm.
then I talk to thousands of people all the time, and they laugh so hard, they cry so hard, because I just ask questions of their
Mm.
childhood, and also they ask people about their parents and grandparents. And when you
Mhm.
connect dots, what happened to
Mm.
their grandfathers are
Mhm.
influencing your parents, and what
Mm.
influence your parents are directly influencing you and your kids and potentially your grandkids. So what's happening right now is a result of three generations glories and also traumatic experiences.
Mm.
And if we don't pay much attention to what's happening now, we are
Mhm.
going to give our children and grandchildren the debt, emotional debts, and also
Mhm.
traumatic experiences as we experience those childhood.
Mm. Seems like there's so much we could be traumatized about, and money's one of them, right? It's just one
Yes,
of those things.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And also, it's not just about the money. but something related with money. If our parents said, "I'm so sorry, I don't have the money," we could
Mm.
have understood. But
Mhm.
instead, one of my students, a girl, wanted to learn ballet. And then
Mhm.
her father said, "Wow, you're not a ballet type. Look at your legs, look at your body, look at your face.
Oh.
You're definitely not ballet." And then that's
Mm.
so, you know, violent,
Wrong.
right? So
Right. Yes.
yeah, he wanted to say no because he didn't have the money. But if he could
Right.
simply say, "I'm so sorry, as much as I want you to learn ballet, I
Mhm.
don't have the money, so I'm so sorry.
Right.
Just please forgive me." If your
Right.
father said that, there's no traumatic experience. But
Right. Right.
our parents couldn't face the fact that
Mm.
they didn't have the money. They couldn't
Mhm.
face the guilt and the shame around money.
Mm.
So we just,
Right.
instead of just holding it in, we just take
Mhm.
out on our partner and also the kids. So that's why we have experiences traumatic.
Well, in the States, parents do say we can't afford that. Now,
Hmm.
to me, okay, that is the truth. But I realized I didn't want my kids to hear the words we can't afford because that is not a good life force.
Mm,
So when I was broke, I was a single parent and broke.
mm.
I was thinking, okay, I don't want them to get this baggage. So what I'm going to say is, I don't have that in the budget this week. you know,
That's
so
great.
so it would be like, it's not a never thing. It's not negative. It's just, oh, that's a great idea. You know what? I don't think I have it in the budget right now or this week. And they're like, okay, mom. So it was zero trauma. And when we were in restaurants, I never said we can't afford stuff. I would just always be doing the mathematics in my head of what we could afford. And they go, oh, mom, what can I have? And this, and they're younger. I said, you know what? And I'd look and I'd do a scan and I go, okay, that's the cheapest thing. I go, you know what? I think that's the best dish right there for you. And they go, okay, mom. And I managed to do this. And when I got out of debt and started becoming, successfully monetarily, because, success is many different ways, but monetarily successful, I
Hmm.
said to my daughter, who was at the time, 15, I said, yeah, I said, well, I'm so glad I got out of all that debt. She started to cry. She said, you were in debt? She goes, I never knew. I thought we were rich the whole time. And I thought, good, because I didn't want them to feel the strain that they did not need to feel, which would traumatize them. So I felt like I did a good job in that case, I probably didn't do a good job on a lot of things, but I
Bravo.
won there. Yes.
Yes, bravo.
Okay.
Bravo for that.
Thank you. Now, Ken, I'm fascinated. What got you into all of this in the first place?
So my father was a very successful tax accountant, and he started teaching me about money since I was 5 or 6. So I learned about money since I was small, and so it was a very, very special education. And also around the same time, my father's best client slash his best friend committed suicide. Not only he killed himself, he killed the entire family of four, and then committed suicide. That really
Oh.
put my father into a depressing state because
Mm.
as a tax advisor, he advised his client, his best friend, to file bankruptcy. But instead of
Mm.
just filing bankruptcy, he killed an entire family and committed suicide. But the regret that my father had is that he had prepared a little money to help his friends.
Oh.
But Japanese guy, maybe American guys are the same. We don't talk about those things, right? So
Mm.
if he was willing to do that, but because he didn't say that verbally, his friend lost hope, and then from
Oh.
saving the shame and guilt of bankruptcy, he
Mm.
uh, he took this, his own life and also his family's life. That really
Mm.
put my father into depression. My grandmother
Mm.
died around the same time, so we
Oh.
were just a musical family. My father was in love with Elvis Presley, so he was just, just playing very loud guitar. That's what I remember my father when he was happy.
Mm.
Then he'd stop playing the piano, he'd stop playing the guitar, and music stopped. So since then, I wanted to know why, and also I want to know what money does to life because money could kill entire family. I need to learn about that. So I started
Mm.
my quest for the answers around money, and
Mm.
then I ended up healing people from money traumas and
Mhm.
helping people transform their relationship with money. And I have written tons of books, and
Mm.
so I had so much inspiration from the process of healing my family, my father,
Mhm.
and the depression that happened, and I'm
Mm.
helping myself and healing myself.
Mm. Wow, I'm very sorry to hear that. So, did your dad ever get over that?
He's never, but
Mm.
he disowned me like more than 5 times, and every time I tried to talk with him, and then
Mhm.
for example, I wanted to apologize how bad I was as his son, and I
Mm.
was kind of expecting, no, 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 I have to apologize to you because I've been a
Mhm.
terrible father. And then we hug, right? That
Right?
was the
Yes.
image I had. But when I
Yes.
said, I'm so sorry, Daddy, that I was a terrible son, he sighed and said, now you understand. And then I got really pissed, and then I left the house. So I've done a lot of, healing with my father. So
Mhm.
eventually, I could get to say to my father, I love you,
Mhm.
and that's something that Japanese people don't tell each other, even
Mm.
among couples and husbands and
Mhm.
wife, and especially parents and kids. It's kind of
Mhm.
like a weird situation. But
Mm.
I heard my father just tell me back that I love you too, and
Wow.
I can still hear the sound in my ears that
Wow.
my father loves me. I mean, he's not a kind of guy who talks more than dinner now, like a bath
Right.
now, like he doesn't talk
Yeah.
more than like few sentences. So I still
Wow.
cherish the memories, even though he didn't
Mm.
really discover it fully from his depression. I
Oh.
could see some
Yes.
sparkles here and there, and then
Yeah.
that memories keep me going.
Yeah. Oh, that must have I can't even imagine how bad that would feel that you were about to help somebody out and then they do all of that. He must have just had such sheer regret. Just the
Yeah,
regret, why didn't I say something, you know?
right.
I could have fixed it. Your poor father, I understand, especially now in America, people just decide to declare bankruptcy. It's no big deal. Like it's like, people say in conversation, yeah, if this doesn't work, I'll just declare bankruptcy, which I don't like that idea that
Yeah,
you have that. But it's no big deal. Oh yeah, I went through a bankruptcy and I didn't like it, but
it's like
they're
getting
not
over
going to
from cold, right?
well, a little bit more than that, but it's not like there's zero shame in it. Like one guy was speaking to the, it was, yeah, I declared bankruptcy and it was like a blip. And I was thinking, gee, I would have more emotion than that if I don't want to declare bankruptcy because
Mhm.
I have a different, I was in deep debt and I never declared bankruptcy just because I didn't want to. I wanted to pay it back. And for me, that would be giving up just for me. And I'm not judging people that have to declare bankruptcy, but anybody else in my situation definitely would have declared bankruptcy with that
Mm,
single mom, 2 kids, deep debt. I thought, nope, I'm going to pull it myself out of this and I will pay that back. And I did. But
great.
that's just a personal choice,
Mhm.
not to judge other people that have to declare. So so what a story. And then did you ever have a job other than researching this, or is this been your whole life?
Yeah, so I started, since I studied from my father very well. I started
Mm.
my business when I was 2021, and then started consulting company and accounting company. And by the age 29, I had enough money saved up, and I've invested well. And so I could
Mm.
retire for my baby girl.
Mm.
My wife and I decided to have some time off. I was thinking 3 months. She was
Mhm.
thinking 3 years. But after about 2 months, I started to
Mhm.
speak slowly, and then my thinking got very slow. And then, in fact, I really enjoyed my semi retirement days. And so, original 3 months got extended to 6 months, a year, and 2 years. I ended up spending 4 years of not
Mm.
working, but
Mm.
3 years into semi-retirement, I got this inspiration to write on happiness and
Mm.
money and help other people with my writings, which is bizarre because I never wrote anything in my entire life. It's almost like I'm declaring I'm becoming a singer to inspire everybody. And I say, how bizarre is that? But that's how I got the inspiration, and I started
Yeah.
writing a few essays, and that got me started. my career.
So when did you start the writing? How many years ago was this?
So it's about 22, 3 years ago. I started writing like 3 pages, and I started showing them to my friends. I was very nervous. All my friends
Mm,
loved it. So I wrote 2 more pages, 5 more pages. It ended up 26 pages of, like an essay on happiness and money and how to have
mhm,
achieve financial independence. And
mhm.
people loved it. So people wanted more
Wow.
copies, like 5 copies and 10 copies. So I ended up hiring a printer. And he said, uh,
Mm,
1,000 is a minimum. And I said, I asked for original 300, but 1,000 is a
mm.
minimum. So I was about to sign the contract. And he had another sheet of paper that changed my life. He said, if you print 3,000, sir, the cost is from $8 to like a dollar and a half. And I thought,
Ah.
wow, really? And I signed the contract, but he didn't tell me how many boxes are in 3,000, you know. And then 2 weeks later, 2 trucks came in front of my apartment. And then I realized, I thought somebody, neighbor is moving in, and then it's my booklet. So I had to put everything out of one room and then put all the books, like, I don't know how many, like
Mhm,
40 or 50 boxes into
mhm.
the room. And then I apologized to my wife. I'm so sorry, I got so many boxes, and
Mhm,
I promise I'll get rid of them in 6 months. And she
mhm.
was not smiling. And then she said, I'll give you 3 months, either all the boxes out or you're out of the house.
Wow. She was serious?
I don't know, but she wasn't smiling. So
Wasn't smiling. She think
I started calling my friends. You love my John. You love my writings. I'm sending you 30 copies and 50 copies,
right.
and I got rid of all the boxes in 3 weeks.
Amazing, but you also could have stored it at a friend's place, you could have, like,
Oh,
moved the
but
boxes.
I was so like motivated to give
Motivated.
away, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the interesting thing happened. People wanted more copies. This time,
Oh.
I printed another 5,000. I hired
Mhm,
a storage unit, and I was a little
mhm.
smarter. And then
Smart.
I started giving away. And at the same
Wow.
time, I wanted to experiment this law of universe: what you give, you receive. So
Yes.
I just wanted to give it a try. If I give a lot of happy knowledge, what would I
Mhm.
get? So I
Mm.
ended up giving away about 100,000 copies. That cost me about
Wow.
100,000 US dollars. A
Right?
publisher called me, and I thought it's an excellent booklet. So they asked me
Mhm.
to write a book. I said no. I wrote everything in this. I just squeezed out of all the water. Nothing will come out.
Yeah.
But he said, just you're not doing anything, right? If you just sit down in front of your computer, something may come out. And I said, I don't know, but I did. And then a lot came out. By the time I finished
Wow.
one book, the ideas of the second book and the third book and the fourth book
Mm.
and the fifth book just downloaded. And then I started
Wow.
writing. So ever since, it's 22 years ago, I have published almost one book out of every 2 months.
How many books in total is that?
I lost count, but I think it's somewhere around 150 to 200.
Okay, and are all these books on the market? They're all, like, in print and they're all being sold all the
Yeah.
time?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, and I sold 9 million copies almost now, by now.
Incredible.
So, what's
Wow.
interesting is that I gave away 2.3 million physical booklets to whoever may want.
Yes.
It cost me
Mhm,
about $3 million US
mhm,
as a
mhm,
gift. And then I
mhm,
sold almost 9 million copies of my books. That translates into about $13 million in book royalties
mhm,
only.
mm.
So whatever I gave away with $3 million came back with $13 million.
Amazing.
So whatever you give will come back. So I just strongly recommend people to start giving, start sharing. And you don't have to,
Right,
give like I did. You can donate
right.
$5 or $10. And if
Mhm,
you feel it's too much, just donate a quarter, a dime,
right.
or a cent.
Something,
Start doing something,
something.
and then you'll be amazed how much you receive.
It's interesting. I have a strategy that when people are feeling not, abundant
Hmm.
or feeling not successful, to do something or give something to somebody else because it tells your brain you are not in lack.
Mm,
Because if you're not in lack, you give stuff away.
Yes.
And I found that worked for me. It's like, okay, wait a minute. What if I pretend I'm not in lack and just give it away? And then it did shift stuff for me. So I
Mhm.
love that. Okay, well, that's an amazing story. You're full of incredible stories. So now, where do you live at the moment? You're living in Japan, but you're touring around right now.
I have a few houses. At the moment, I'm going around the world. I study from Tokyo, Helsinki,
Hmm.
London, Chicago, and Dallas, and I'm in Colorado. I'm
Hmm.
back in Japan, but I will just come back to Europe for a month. I start
Mm,
lecturing in Copenhagen and
mm,
Croatia, Greece, and that kind of places.
how exciting. Okay, so what is the one thing you've written so much, you're so prolific, but what's one thing, one mindset, one philosophy that you would like to tell our listeners to live by?
I think we can enjoy life more. We are too worried about what's going to happen next.
Mm,
But whatever is going to happen next could be nice, could be bad, but let's not judge it because whatever comes in a nice wrapping paper could be very bad inside. And whatever comes out in a bad wrapping paper could be such a big blessing. So, whatever happens, let's enjoy both negative and positive. At the end of our life, we kind of just cherish all the memories, and especially when something terrible happened, that is something that you kind of smile when you remember when you're just about to die. Just oh, that was so terrible, but I really enjoyed it. So
mm,
we can appreciate and enjoy our life more if we stop
mm,
worrying if this is good or bad. Everything
mm,
happens for a reason for you, so you can
mm,
be more curious about what's happening next, and then we can get excited about what's happening. And by with that mentality, you can enjoy life more.
mm. I love that. So it's not judging what is good or bad. It's fine. It's all good. Actually, this sort of comes into one of my theories. My theory, I have a post-it that says happy no matter what.
Mm,
And when I started practicing that, it was like, okay, I might see that as a bad thing, but I'm going to be happy no matter what because there's going to be stress, there's going to be good, bad. What if I'm just happy no matter what's happening? Of course, and if we lose somebody and somebody dies, it's hard to be happy that moment. But that kind of fits in with my philosophy of every day just be happy no matter what because it's
mhm.
not all going to be roses and sunshine, right? So I love that. Okay, Ken, this has been really entertaining and wonderful. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much.
turning up. Yeah, I want to just mention the two books that are in English. One is called True Wealth. That's the latest one, which is a novel. Sounds amazing. That one, if people are watching this, True Wealth.
Mhm.
And then the other original one was Happy Money, if anybody wants to purchase these. So we are going to have a link to Ken's where you can reach out to Ken in the show notes. Ken, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners. Yeah, you're welcome. And please share this amazing episode, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed being interviewed by you, Jan.
Such a pleasure. Take care. You're listening to the Business Wealth Impact Podcast, your source for empowering information and cutting edge ideas from the world's top minds. I'm your host, Jean Amlour, founder of seven-figure coaching company, Jean Amlour International. Join me on a journey to unleash your potential and create your highest success. Welcome to Business Wealth Impact.